Here are 10 reasons why the Michigan Wolverines will rebound after an 8-5 season, a failure of a year, capped off with some success, but not good enough. And after they rebound this season in the fall, they will have a good enough record to reach the college football playoff. So how do they take advantage of what I perceive to be a light schedule and a roster that's talented enough to at least compete and should reach a playoff and secure a playoff spot? Well, let's talk about it. So reason number one is that Michigan's defensive line is deep. Very deep. In fact, it is so deep that I would tag it as right now a top 3 defensive line in terms of depth. Top 3. Could easily be number 1. But I want to leave some wiggle room with Clemson and Georgia and Texas and what they have. Michigan will take a step back up front defensively. When you lose Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Josiah Stewart, that's going to happen. However, they bring in Trey Williams and Damon Payne, and they bring back TJ Guy, Derek Moore, Cameron Brandt, Rayshawn Benny, Ika Wuna. Before we resume this segment, please take a few seconds of your time to make sure you have liked the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and for any team podcasts and playlists linked in the description, and also comment your thoughts down below in the comment section and join my Discord server via the description. All of those things I just asked you to do are completely free, and they sign you up for things related to my channel, or they don't sign you up for anything. No cost to you, and all the benefit to you because we release daily college football content here on College Football with Sam. If you want to support the channel monetarily, sign up for a YouTube membership or check any other links in the description for my merchandise store and Patreon page. Thank you very much, and let's get back to the segment. You also got Pierce in the middle of that unit, and I believe that with the depth they have, they're not going to be as awesome. They're not going to wreck games the same way, but because of the depth, I think they'll be able to rotate a little bit more, and therefore you will get a very consistent, near elite effort out of this unit. It's also a down year for defensive lines overall, so Michigan once again should have one of the top D lines because everyone loses their best defensive lineman in most cases, not just Michigan. That's going to be a huge non-negotiable. Teams will have issues running on Michigan, issues protecting their quarterback against Michigan, and it could totally reload. It won't. I highly doubt that'll happen, but Michigan's developed well enough there and built enough quality bodies to where they could have a Texas situation from last year where their D-line, when you factor in depth, was just as good as the 2023 unit despite not having the same caliber of defensive tackles. Reason number 2 is their seniority. 16 of Michigan's 44 two-deep players are seniors. Now, obviously, when you look ahead to maybe 2026, that will provide some questions for that year. But 16 players who have no more eligibility in your two-deep, many of them on defense, I think bodes well for the defense to probably take a step forward. And given some things we'll talk about throughout this video and segment, offensively, Michigan should take a step forward too, especially on the interior O-line and O-line overall, where they returned some starters and key contributors there and were young last season. Seniority helps. It helps you win close games. Also, seniors being older, they're closer to their physical prime. In the NFL, typically being older means you're further away from your physical prime, but in college, you're still approaching your physical prime, so you're going to typically be bigger, stronger, faster. These things help Michigan. They're top 25 in turning production, and they have a good amount of seniors in their two-deep. Reason number 3 is quarterback upgrade. Maybe that should be higher, but if Michigan was as young as Bryce Underwood and, say, Jordan Marshall were on average throughout their roster, I would not be picking them to reach the playoffs. It's just too young of a team with not the freakish talent overall out on all positions to just suddenly explode after going 8-5. The seniority combined with the quarterback upgrade is a huge reason for optimism, though. Underwood will be a massive upgrade. Even if he's a little bit disappointing and doesn't quite live up to the hype early or even throughout the year, you cannot tell me he's not an upgrade over Davis Warren. That's not possible. There's no world in which he's as bad as Davis Warren, barring a severe injury in which he can't play, and then you got to start Jaden Davis, who is probably unplayable, especially in Big Ten competition, and also Oklahoma as well. But the starting quarterback upgrade cannot be overstated. He is going to be so much better in terms of being a passer, in terms of being accurate, in terms of decision making, and in terms of mobility compared to Warren, compared to Orji, compared to Jack Tuttle, compared to anyone who started at Michigan at quarterback last season. Number 4 is superior play calling. Chip Lindsey. I think he's much better than Kirk Campbell. And he has a system. I think Kirk Campbell, didn't really have much of a system, didn't have the same experience as Chip Lindsey did as the offensive coordinator, or does. And play calling hampered Michigan last year. Remember the Ohio State game where Michigan was running successfully and Michigan decides with a quarterback with a noodle arm to drop back from a goal line formation and throw it at the 2? Like, just run the ball 3 or 4 times in a row and you'll score a touchdown. And instead it was the legendary Jack Sawyer pick. So play calling, and not just in that instance, but several instances. The Illinois game, for example, where Michigan passed more than they ran, that was bad. Situational play calling will have a massive boost, and it will be noticeable, I think, immediately in week 1 and even against Oklahoma in week 2 from Kirk Campbell to Chip Lindsey and the change there. Reason number 5 is Michigan's upside at linebacker. So they have 4 senior linebackers: Jaden Hood, Jimmy Rolder, the 2 starters, Ernest Hausman, and Jayshawn Barham. They have 4 seniors. They're talented, especially Barham and Hausman, and they have depth there too. That's why 4 senior linebackers, and they have some other players who are younger that will be involved, I imagine, in limited spot duty. So if Michigan's able to play to their height, to their maximum at linebacker, we could be talking about maybe the nation's best defense or a team that is better than even I'm predicting. This linebacker group will determine a lot of the season, and given how much they bring back, you probably should be more positive about them than negative. So the upside at linebacker is reason number 5, and that combined with a deep D line means that this front is going to be nasty. And the seniority overall and the quarterback and play calling upgrade means that this team overall, looking at it, they won't have the same imposing D-line they did last year, but they will be much more balanced. And that means they should be able to better pull away in games, not just play in so many close contests, and also means in big games they won't have to solely rely on defense and special teams to win. Let's look at the next column of reasons here. Reason number 6 is their talented defensive back. A lot of it is unproven, but they also have plenty of upside. Yair Hill received positive PFF grades, and they also have the Metcalf brothers, and if Rod Moore is healthy, kind of doubt he is, but if he ever gets healthy, he will have a good season. Reason number 7 is the physical running backs, Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall. Haynes was Alabama's second-string running back last season, going to be Michigan's starter. Jordan Marshall will be rotating with him. Their combined athleticism, physicality, just everything about them, I think, on average, is better than averaging Kalel Mullings and Donovan Edwards together. Michigan upgrades at running back this season, and Haynes is a more talented running back in terms of high school rankings than any running back Michigan has had in the Jim Harbaugh era. And I like what Marshall shows in terms of toughness, too. Reason number 8 is Michigan's easier schedule. They will never be a double-digit underdog from a preseason standpoint, and they only face one preseason top 10 team. Nebraska's preseason unranked, Washington and USC are. They actually only face 2 teams in the preseason top 25. Both of them, they're coincidentally underdogs, too. Oklahoma and Ohio State, despite being ranked ahead of Oklahoma in top 15 nationally. Not a guarantee that they'll win games, just a reason on top of what I've already built on as to why they will succeed and rebound. Reason number 9 is their special teams. This is actually the biggest reason I'm picking Michigan to reach the CFP. Not the biggest reason why they're a better team. That's why it's reason number 9. But I think special teams will help Michigan win some close games that otherwise they would lose if they did not have Dominic Svada. They have a special teams unit returning that was top 10 nationally per ESPN's efficiency. They can help Michigan pull away in close games. This special teams unit can, especially the kicker, Dominic Svada. And last but not least, number 10 is that Michigan is top 15 talent. So if a team is top 15 talent, you can reasonably assume that the expectations are they should play at a top 15 level. Doesn't mean they will, but those are the expectations. Add on top of that what Michigan returns on defense, the kicker they have, and the fact that they are not going to get worse at quarterback or wide receiver. This team should be better than they were last year and probably be a top 15 team. That plus an easier schedule, a schedule which is one of the easiest amongst the top 15 talent rosters, tells me that Michigan has a pretty good chance of reaching the college football playoff. So therefore, I'm picking them to rebound and I'm picking them to reach the college football playoff, which means Michigan will have a 10-2 or better record in this fall 2025 season. Thank you for watching College Football with Sam. Make sure that you've liked the video, subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and team playlists and podcasts in the description, joined the free Discord server where we talk college football 24/7, and have commented your thoughts down below. Check out the description for any ways you can support the channel monetarily. Everything else I've asked you to do is completely free, and your support means the world to me. We're trying to become the next big thing on college football YouTube. 6-figure subscribers, maybe 1 million one day. I think we can do that. And also check out any videos or playlists, anything in these columns right here, where there will be videos and playlists. Yeah, you get the point. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.